Tonight there is finger pointing back and forth between Missouri leaders over Medicaid expansion.
It's a law you approved and lawmakers refused to pay for. New at 6, Caroline Hecker asked lawmakers to explain themselves and the governor what he can do, if anything, to find the money to ensure many Missourians secure health care. Caroline?
Well, when voters approved Medicaid expansion last August, they approved an amendment to the state constitution, and that expansion is supposed to begin on July 1st. But the state legislature's refusal to fund it leaves health insurance hanging in the balance for hundreds of thousands. Less than a year after Missouri voters approved the expansion of Medicaid coverage, plans for that expansion have been dropped. Right now, a family of 4 making around $26,000 a year is eligible for Medicaid. The expansion would have increased that threshold to $36,000 a year, but legislators refused to provide the funding.
It's a fake question. There was no funding mechanism. The Constitution says you can't bind future legislatures unless there's a funding mechanism. And if you would have added a tax to it, there's a high possibility the vote would have come out much different.
Koenig says the majority of those newly eligible are healthy, able-bodied adults who can get their health insurance through the Affordable Care Act's Silver Plan. Democrats say it's become a partisan issue, and voters need to remember who they elected.
Voters also elected a majority Republican legislature, and it's been clear that they refused to implement Medicaid expansion. So the voters have a disconnect between the policies they want and the people that they send.
Williams says money exists in the state's budget to fund Medicaid expansion, between a surplus and federal money helping to pay for it. But Governor Mike Parson tells News 4 it's not that simple.
Yeah, that's great to be able to say that, but the reality is I just can't spend money because of what I want to spend money. I wish it was sometimes. I'd sure like to have that ability to do that.
With the decision likely left up to the courts, an estimated 250 to 300,000 people included in the expansion are now in limbo. On the federal unemployment front, News 4 has heard from people upset those benefits will end June 12th, a decision made by Governor Parson.
He got my vote, but I want it back. Now, I was very disappointed in his decision.
But the governor says the time has come to get back to work.
But it's time. These were all temporary conditions in a crisis, in a pandemic in our state, but it's time for people to go back to work.
Now, on the topic of federal unemployment, I've spoken with several people who are set to lose those benefits in June. They tell me they wish there was more of a gradual process in place, scaling those benefits back rather than stopping altogether. They say that would allow them to plan a little bit better.
And Caroline, did Governor Parson say anything about ending those benefits and how that might impact the economy?
He thinks it's going to be a catalyst to getting us back to where we were pre-pandemic, talking about low unemployment rates, I should say. It is at 4.2% right now, but he does say that he believes this will be an incentive that will get people back to work.
A lot of people will be watching it. All right, Caroline, thank you.